This is a story of my 2001 Mustang GT convertible that I bought when I was 18 years old back in 2010. It had a new paint job, a one-piece spider molded body kit, and it had a resurrected, or shall I say, salvage title. I actually called this car Resurrected GT. And at the time when I bought it, I paid $5,400 for this vehicle, which was a little steep for a salvage title, but being that it had the new paint job and the one-piece body kit, and I was excited for the vehicle, I decided to buy it. I drove this car for about a little over 4 years, I believe, and it was a great car. I really enjoyed this thing. It was my first Mustang. The reason I got it is because my dad had a Oxford White 2001 Mustang GT convertible, and I got to drive that a little bit when I was learning to drive, and I decided I wanted one. So I saved up and I went and got this one. And it was a stock motor, had a cold air intake, BBK. It had a MagnaFlow exhaust, which actually sounded really good. And I put 355 gears in it. And let's see, what else did I do to it? I put new rotors on it, drilled and slotted, and Roush Racing springs. And I got rid of the stock wheels that came with it. It had 19-inch chrome Koenigs on it, and I threw these 18 by 9 and 18 by 10 and a half bullet wheels from American Muscle on it. And I really liked the look of the car after I put those new wheels on it. So I drove this car towards the end of my high school. I had it my senior year, and I just really loved this car. It was fun to drive. It got a lot of attention. And this is a photo of when I got in my first rear end accident. I rear-ended someone and had to get rid of the spider front bumper, which was okay with me. I really didn't like the look of the front bumper. So I put on a stock bumper. I had to put a new headlight frame in, and I just rebuilt that myself in the garage. It's my first time really ever working on a vehicle like this. And so here's a picture after, and here's a picture of right before I painted the vehicle. So this is at my mechanic's shop, and I was just dropping it off, so I had to take a picture. And the next picture you'll see is after it was painted midnight blue. So we'll transition to that. And I really liked the midnight blue. It looked very aggressive. It had a good shine in the sun. It was like you could kind of see like a bright blue in the car when the sun hit it, and then at night it looked like a gray black vehicle. But I was really happy with this paint job, and having a red Mustang, I realized that I got a lot of tickets the first year I had it, and so I probably had it painted like this for about a year, and then unfortunately I got in an accident in the vehicle. And the most important thing I can say is I'm glad that I came out unscathed in this accident, because it was a pretty bad accident. And I hit a Toyota Tacoma, and the whole passenger side of the vehicle was destroyed. It got the front fender, the door, the window, the A-pillar, and it was a really bad accident, and this vehicle was already salvage titled, and I had basically just told myself that, I love this vehicle. It was my first Mustang, but I didn't think I could fix it. I knew I didn't have the money to fix it. or the experience or knowledge. And so after this accident that rattled me up, I decided to walk away from it, and I sold it to a tow yard that had taken it in after the accident. They wanted to charge me like $400 for towing and storage fees, and they ended up giving me a little money for the vehicle, but you can see there it snapped the rim on the front, and it was an experience that just kind of woke me up and told me, like, I need to be more careful. You can always replace the car, but so after this accident, I ended up buying a Mercedes 380 SEL for $1,500 just to get me around, get me to work, and I drove this car for probably about a year or two, and I saved up and I worked towards the goal of buying another Mustang. And so this car came in clutch. It had its problems. I definitely spent more on it than I should in repairs. It needed like a new computer. It needed fuel pressure regulators, motor mounts, transmission mount, catalytic converters. It just it needed a lot of work, and it was a 1983 Mercedes, German engineering. So I didn't really know anything about those cars, and luckily I had a good guy in town that took good care of me. He was right next door to my original mechanic for my first Mustang, so he took good care of me. I had to change a lot of stuff, and he charged me the best he could, and I really appreciated that because I needed that vehicle to get me to work so I could save up, and I ended up buying this Mustang, 2004 Mustang GT convertible, clean title. It was lowered 3 inches when I got it. Someone had cut the springs on it, and it looked cool, but it didn't function right. And like the first week I had it, it bottomed out and cracked the overflow tank, so I had to get that fixed. And eventually I smoked the clutch, so I decided to put a new clutch in with all the clutch components that it needed, and I put a new suspension on it. So I put new shocks, springs, and just like new rotors and new brakes, and the car drove great after that. I was very happy with it. I ended up selling this Mustang a couple years later, and I now own my 2002 Mustang GT convertible that's mineral gray with 92,000 miles when I bought it, and now it has 109,000 miles. It's a very clean car. It is basically completely stock, and I'm very happy with that vehicle now. I appreciate you listening to this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, take care.